Hi, my name is Jessica Andrews, and I am doing my presentation on overpopulation. The first slide here, I want to talk about life expectancy and how that's changed over the years. So when we think about the year 2024, people are living longer than they ever have. Our world data says that in 1900, the average life expectancy of a newborn was 32 years. By 2021, that has more than doubled to 71 years. So the increase is due to life expectancy is due to many factors: advances in medicine, antibiotics, vaccines, nutrition, and improvement in living. And you can take a look here at the table and see the trend, and definitely from that 1900, especially to that 1950, we peak all the way up where our life expectancy does dramatically increase. So let's look at numbers. Harvard National Review in 1800, the Earth had approximately 1 billion people. In 1940, Earth had approximately 2.3 billion. And in 1970, Earth had approximately 3.7 billion. Today, Earth has approximately 7.5 billion people. So in the 5 decades, our Earth's population has grown substantially, which has led to overpopulation. So now we're faced with having to make decisions on how we handle our environment with overpopulation. Let's look at some growth. The UN projects that over half of the Earth's population growth in the next 3 decades will occur in the continent of Africa. When we think about Africa, we think about all the land and all the animals, and what impact is that going to have on their ecosystems. The UN also predicts Asia will be the second greatest future international population growth, with an additional 1 billion people by 2050. And if you check out, I do recommend checking out this website that I put here on the bottom. It had a lot of great information in regards to growth. Now let's talk about some growth on the decline. European nations and most of Europe, fertility rates have remained beneath replacement level for decades and have fallen below the population replacement level. This is approximately 2 children per woman. So the European nations have seen a decrease. So let's talk about population growth factors: climate change, greater greenhouse gas emissions, resource depletion, more food is being used, water, energy, and other resources are being depleted. And environmental degradation, more waste and pollution is happening due to resources being consumed, leading to soil erosion, water pollution, and other damage. So as we use these resources, then also damage to our environment is happening. Population growth factors: deforestation, more housing, food, and resources take away forests, losing animal habits, reducing amounts of carbon dioxide that can be absorbed by plants. Per the United Nations, estimated at 10 million hectares between 2015 and 2020, compared with 12 million in 2010. Forest under protection. We do have forest under protection, and that has increased over the years, which is great. And also, if you go on this news.un, they also have a lot of great information. Population growth factors, social unrest. So as overpopulation happens, it can lead to many detrimental things, such as decrease in foods, which food insecurity happens, then poverty, then overcrowding, and other social issues. Tensions can come between communities and countries if resources continue to become less available. So as we start using these resources, and as these resources become less and less and people become more aware, that can lead to a lot of social tension and problems between communities, and especially, like I said, countries. So let's look at some growth factors. Loss of biodiversity. In the last 50 years, the WWF, which is the World Wildlife Organization, reported seeing an average of 68% decrease in the populations of amphibians, mammals, birds, fish, and reptiles. So when these animals' habitats are destroyed due to increased use of resources to keep up with the demand of people, we take away their habitats. And below here on the bottom, you can see the loss for each continent. North America is 33%, Latin America and Caribbean, 94%, Africa, 65%, Asia Pacific, 45%. So that's a lot. And those numbers are alarming, especially as our population will increase over the years. So now we've talked about things as far as how overpopulation is hurting. Let's talk about solutions. Education is one of the greatest tools to address overpopulations. Educating people on contraceptions, population growth trends can help individuals make more informed decisions on their own reproductive health. Can help reduce poverty levels by creating job opportunities and improving access to health care. Again, that family planning with education and programs regarding contraceptives, individuals are more prepared to make informed decisions about having families. And governments getting involved in regulating the number of children one can have is such a personal thing and debate, and it definitely invokes a lot of feelings from people on whether that should be or shouldn't be allowed. It has been done with other countries, like in China, and they have stopped doing that since, but that is a topic that is always a discussion for many people, and again, brings about a lot of feelings. Solutions, renewable energy. We talk about renewable energy and we think of solar, wind, hydropower, which can reduce our reliance on fuels. It creates more jobs. Reducing the carbon footprint can improve air quality and water supply. This is from earth.org. The world's electricity demand is set to accelerate to an average of 3% over the next 3 years, with more than 70% of the increase coming from China, India, and Southeast Asia. So by 2025, Asia will account for half of the world's electricity consumption, with 1/3 being consumed in China. The good news is that both renewable sources and nuclear power are growing quickly enough to cover most of that demand. Sustainable agriculture. So it's very important to increase our agriculture as our numbers and populations increase, so that organic farming to reduce environment damages, soil erosion, water contamination. We can create great job opportunities for rural communities, providing access to nutritious food as well. Green technology is a term for using technology that's considered environmentally friendly, leaving less of a carbon footprint. And last, we cannot change unless we are aware of what we need to change and advocate for change. That's the biggest thing. We are the world's advocates, and it's up to us to make these changes. I want to leave you with this quote from Dalai Lama. I thought this was very fitting. It is our collective and individual responsibility to preserve and tend to the world in which we all live. Thank you so much.